Hey yo, I spoke about this broad. Remember her in one of my previous videos, and she was marrying herself at the age of 50. But that video was just a video with the bridesmaids and her whole little ceremony and theme of her marrying herself. It didn't disclose how much she paid on the wedding or how much she paid or spent to marry herself. Now, this is ridiculous, but I personally enjoy pointing out the low, pointing out the low IQ of these broads. And about a year ago, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that, back then, I was always wishing that these broads would leave men and children alone. And today I was having a thought and I was thinking, these broads should get their tubes tied. Even the younger ones, the ones who, you know, don't want to, who have a problem being women, or the ones who really don't have experience or don't have success in relationships and being with the men that they choose to be with. I would rather these broads, go out in the world and have as many partners as they want and remain unmarried, but at least have their tubes tied. I believe, the world needs to cut back on all of these pregnancies, you know what I'm saying, because of relationships is at an all-time low dealing with these broads. Because like I said a few videos ago, the biggest problem with these broads, especially these black broads, is they're spiritually and mentally flawed. That's where their flaws are. And then, the ones that have the flaws especially are the ones that open their eyes real wide and like to say a lot of foolish and stupid things to show how low their IQ is. Once these broads start opening their eyes real wide, whatever they're saying is stupid and low IQ and special needs and short bus shorty type stuff. So a lot of this short bus stuff is coming out with these bras. I'd rather these bras marry themselves too and leave men and children alone. Again, I made this channel to say what I want to say, to speak freely. You know what I'm saying? Whoever don't like it, don't like me being a man, don't like me saying what I say, don't like my tone, don't like me talking about these broads. Just remember, I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can create their channel and say what they want to say. And you don't have to like, share, subscribe on my videos, but I don't give a fuck who don't like what I'm saying, because I see something and I'm going to say something. So I'm pointing out the flaws of these broads, and I want to talk about this broad here spending $200,000 to marry herself, which is ridiculous. Now, these broads won't even spend that kind of money to marry a man. When they get with a man and they want to marry a man, all of a sudden, they don't have any money. And when a traditional marriage, the woman is supposed to buy the husband's ring, and the husband is supposed to buy the wife's ring, depending on the value system, because that doesn't pertain to different value systems and religious followers and believers. All right, but still, let's talk about this broad right here. All right, baller alert exclusive. They're calling her a baller when I'm sure she put herself in all kinds of debt marrying herself. They think it's a flex, especially when it comes to marrying herself. But I believe personally that these broads should marry themselves and leave men and children alone. And I also believe that the majority of these broads who do not have success in being with a man and having a family should go and get their tubes tied. I believe the world needs to cut back on allowing these broads to bring forth children out of wedlock. America's not set up to maintain single motherhood, and all of these single mothers can't afford to raise children on their own. So they do a terrible job at it. But anyway, it says here, turning 50 is a milestone worth celebrating. I don't see what the point of celebrating that you're 50. That doesn't make any sense. Turning 50 is a milestone worth celebrating, but for Tracy Cameron, a traditional birthday party simply would not do. Stupid. People cannot stop talking about Cameron's social media video showing her walking down the aisle, not to marry a groom, but to fully commit to a brand new chapter of her life, planning for her 50th, started 2 years ago. Cameron told Baller Alert that she always goes big for her birthday and wanted to do something different this time. So I said, I think I'm going to marry the number 50. Told you a lot of short bus activity comes from these bras, man. That's why I couldn't deal with these bras. And they show how low IQ they are every day. This is why I say I couldn't deal with these bras, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, I mean, like the ones that I deal with right now, I would never marry. You know what I'm saying? But I would never live with a bra neither. So it says the video for Cameron, the ceremony was not about replacing romance. It was about honoring herself. Not a lot of people are making it to 50 in this day and age. So it is a lot of people making it to 50. What the hell is she talking about? The hell is she talking about? So that's short bus right there. And then it says, calls her a birthday bride. That's stupid. Explain, I want to show God my appreciation. Whatever God she's talking about, she's showing her God how low IQ she is, man. Don't put God in this neither. This ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. It says the celebration looked like a fairy tale wedding. That's stupid. The venue was transformed top to bottom in red and white with layers of roses lining the walkway, the aisles and walls. Her party maids wore stunning black gowns, and Cameron stole the show in a bejeweled white gown. Videos capture her throwing money down from a top balcony onto the crowd. That's stupid. Baller Alert asked the bride what it costs. Close to 200,000, she said. All right, that's stupid. One of the most meaningful moments came during the ceremony when the pastor spoke directly at her at that moment. It was just me, the pastor, and God. That's stupid as hell, man. I don't know what God these bras are talking about, but they're definitely not talking about the Creator. All right, now, it says the biggest commitment she made, she says, was to herself. Her message to women is simple. Happiness, fulfillment, and wholeness do not have to depend on another person. See, that's that feminism talk. That's that feminism talk. This is what they do. They justify being by themselves, and that's why I said they do a better job at being by themselves. They need to leave men and children alone. This is why they're not fit for duty when it comes to marriage. This is why it's better for men to have awareness and be on alert for these broads who want to go out there and show how low their IQ is, man, because they're not good at being in relationships. They're better at being by themselves. They do better at being by themselves. And like I said, to them, relationships always get old. Being with the same person always gets old. Even they get old. But what doesn't get old to these broads is being by themselves. So that's why the divorce rate is always high, because they always get bored in these relationships, and then they always choose to be without a husband and without a commitment, because being alone and putting themselves or putting their thoughts first and these dumb ideas first never gets old. So this is why I be like, it's better not to even deal with these bras and not take them serious. You can't take them serious. They're not serious minded, man. It says the biggest commitment she made, she always was to herself. See, her message to women is simple: hope, happiness, fulfillment, and wholeness do not have to depend on another person. She hopes other women will embrace every season of life unapologetically and understand that they can experience joy and completeness on their own. And I agree. Leave men and children alone. And yes, every wedding deserves a honeymoon. Our bride is headed to Paris for hers. Man, she gonna be, look, whatever she does, she gonna be in debt. More than likely, they're gonna be in debt. She gonna be in debt doing this, and then encouraging other bras to do the same thing. I'm telling you, man, these last days, it's not even worth taking these bras serious, man. They done checked out, and men need to check out too. You know what I'm saying? Just check out on these bras, man. give up on relationships, give up on all these lifestyles, because marriage is a lifestyle as well for these broads. It's not something that they take serious. Marriage is a lifestyle for them, and they always choose to be without a husband. So the men don't have to really take these broads serious. Don't even try to even be a husband, man. You know what I'm saying? And definitely don't try to be no damn stepdaddy to these broads with children. But $200,000 is crazy, man. And then a trip to Paris is not cheap neither. So she probably took out a loan for that damn trip to Paris and for this wedding. It says um, with a proposal dinner, a wedding ceremony, a reception, and a Paris honeymoon all checked off the list, Cameron proved that milestones do not have to follow tradition. Sometimes the greatest love story is the one you write with yourself, and if her unforgettable 50th is any indication, she is walking confidently into her next chapter, bouquet and all. Ridiculous, man. The Post Baller Alert exclusive, she spent over $200,000 to marry herself for her 50th birthday, appeared first on Baller Alert. That's dumb, man. Baller Alert. That broad ain't balling, man. It's called Broke Alert. All right, they're going broke. So yeah, that's ridiculous, man. $200,000 wedding, and then going over there to please herself. I'm sure she's gonna take her little rose and be over there pleasing herself, which is again short bus special need activity, man. It's just ridiculous, man. But I like to see this. To me, I done checked out with these bras, so I like to see. I like to see them marry themselves, marry their number, marry their, marry their age. You know what I'm saying? Whatever keeps them away from men and children, I'd rather them do that. You know what I'm saying? And these bras, they have zero experience and zero interest in being with the man and being married and all of that. The only people that haven't given up on them are certain dudes and children. Certain dudes and children. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was ridiculous, man, when I first seen it. You know what I'm saying? $200,000 to marry herself. And even the article knows that she married herself. And she's saying she married her age. No, you just married yourself in vain, right? She did everything in vain, man. All of that stuff is in vain, man. Marrying herself is vanity, man. Let's look up the definition of vain, man. Excuse me. Let's look up the definition of vain, man. Let's go to etymology right quick. Vain, having no value or importance, right? And that's what she did. It's not important, man. Nothing she did was important. It says also idle, unprofitable, fruitless. And all of these fruitless ideas all these fruitless thoughts that these bras have, man, they're better off on their own, man. Don't no dude want to do no stupid shit like that. Deal with a broad that's gonna marry herself. How special need is that? It says worthless, void, invalid, feeble, conceited. And it is something conceited and worthless, man. It says empty and void, fruitless. All right. They're standalones, man. Right? Foolish, silly, idle, right? It says the meaning conceited. It says proud of petty things or trifling attainments. And it's trifling, man. Just another trifling idea to marry yourself. It's just trifling, man. These bras really going a distance, man. They really showing how stupid they are in these last days, man. And she's no different. Just showing how stupid she is. Bring her back. You know what I'm saying? Fruitless, stupid, worthless, fruitless. I mean, and you know, no value, man. It does. It's profitless, man. Just blowing money, man. And they rather do this than bring some income to the table with their husbands. Since I bet you she married herself because she couldn't find no man that was going to spend his own money while she keep hers. So this is the only way these bras are going to spend their own money is if they spend it on themselves. This is why I say is you know what I'm saying it's going to be a lot of these. It's going to be a lot of these leftover women, man, age 50 and up, age 30 and up. Really, a lot of these bras are really at the point that she's at in their 30s. You know what I'm saying? I'm not married and I'm not trying to get married. You know what I'm saying? But it's gonna be dudes out here that's gonna learn the hard way with dealing with meeting these bras. They're fruitless. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I made this channel for me to say what I want to say, talk about what I want to talk about, speak freely. You know what I'm saying? Dudes better beware of these type of bras out here. They're pointless and profitless. Pointless and profitless, and they're making a lot of vain, uh, stupid choices, man. Leave these bras alone, man. They special needs, man. You know what I'm saying? Whoever don't like my channel, whoever don't like what I say, you don't like my tone, you don't like what I say, you don't like what I got, you know, my thoughts. Again, I don't give a fuck. All right, but on to the next, man. These bras are stupid as hell today, man. It's better to do for self as a man. Make sure self is first and always first, because getting with these broads, they're not even gonna spend 200,000 on being with their husband. All right, they'll sit there and try to keep that money, and they bitch about going half on this and bitch about building with the man and all of this. These bras are fruitless, man. These some fruitless ass bras. Only dudes that really want to get with these bras is perverts and simps, man. And they're not even worth really having a good time with. These bras are special needs. I can't even see myself dealing with these bras because they're special needs, man. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a predator being with these bras because they're like little victims, you know what I'm saying, of progress. They don't even want to, I could be trying to talk progress to these bras and they'll be trying to take offense as if they're being victimized, man, of progress. They're a victim of progress all the time. When a man is trying to build, start a family and start a business with these bras and make some money with these bras, nah, these bras are fruitless, man. That's why I say beware of these bras, man. But again, you don't like what I say, you don't like what I talk about, you don't like my tone, you don't like that I'm talking about these bras because they probably remind somebody of their mamas or of their sisters or their aunties. Remember, I made my channel to speak freely, and I don't give a fuck. On to the next one, man. These bras are short bust, man. Short bust size bras, man.